everybody, JC here with another TNI toy review, and today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the first figure in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel Legends Infinite Series Classic 5-pack. We're going to take a look at the Star-Lord figure today, and throughout the week we'll be taking a look at all 5 figures in the set. So for today's review, I'm going to focus a little bit on the packaging. I'm not going to focus on the packaging for each of the figure reviews, so going forward I'll just refer back to this video if you want to get a detailed look at the packaging. But this figure, or this set, is being sold online. It's distributed by Entertainment Earth, so it is considered an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Now you can still purchase this set at other e-tailers besides Entertainment Earth, like Big Bad Toy Store and such. But because it's distributed through Entertainment Earth, it is classified as an Entertainment Earth exclusive. But basically, it is available in multiple places online. But being that you're buying it online, it means it's got to be mailed. So it's going to be shipped in this white mailer box to kind of protect the inner packaging. So the white box, it's just a basic white box. It's got the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel logo up top, and then it's got the name of the set and some legalese in multiple languages down below. Okay, so here's a look at the actual packaging for the set, the box that it actually comes packaged in once you take it out of the mailer box. So again, we have the Guardians of the Galaxy logo up top, and then we have some pretty cool artwork of the characters, in a kind of battle stance look. So I really dig the art on this packaging that they've given us. And then down below you have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo and Entertainment Earth exclusive sticker. You have little again using that art essentially, and it's little thumb images of each of the characters, and Guardians of the Galaxy logo up top and the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo down below. And then on the back we have a look at the figures kind of posed in a similar as the artwork on the front, and it's a little brief bio in multiple languages down below. It says, led by the wandering outlaw Star-Lord, these interstellar heroes defend the universe. So overall, I really like the packaging on this set. I like the artwork on the front. I like how the figures are displayed on the back. So I think it's really kind of cool packaging. Now this box opens up, so if you're somebody who doesn't like to open your figures, you can actually have the figures displayed. You can open up the packaging. On the inner lid of the box, you can have that artwork of them in a battle pose, and it shows the names of each of the characters, and then the figures are clearly displayed in this window box type packaging. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now, just to be up front, if you already have the Star-Lord figure that came in the San Diego Comic-Con box set from last year, then this figure is definitely redundant. It's basically the same figure that we got from that Comic-Con exclusive set, only with some minor alterations made with the paint applications. But otherwise, for all intents and purposes, it is the same figure. So unfortunately, if you already have that figure, then there's not a lot of point to this one. But if you don't, then this is actually not a bad figure. So first of all, I just want to go over some accessories that come in the box set. I don't know if technically these are classified as Star-Lord's accessories, but they match up with him as good as anybody, so I've included it in this review. So there's a little baby Groot figure that comes in the set along with the big Groot, and this is basically the same accessory that we got in that Marvel Universe set, and then again a second time in the Rocket Raccoon single carded figure from the Marvel Infinite Universe line. So if you have those figures, then again, you pretty much already have this. Paint applications are pretty good on it for a little tiny figure that it is. You got the little yellow eyes, and you got actually some washwork on the brown, so it gives it some added dimension. So, and even like the dirt's kind of painted in the pot. So for a little accessory that it is, it's not bad looking. It's just if you have those Marvel Universe Guardians of the Galaxy figures, then you probably already have this. The other accessory he comes with is he comes with the Cosmic Cube. So I forget if this is the same cube that comes with like the Red Skull figure in the Captain America, Winter Soldier, Marvel Legends Infinite Series line or not. I want to say that one was sculpted in his hand, but maybe it was loose. I forget. But regardless, it's basically a translucent blue, dark blue cube, which again I think is supposed to be the Cosmic Cube. So, if you don't have this accessory already, again, it's kind of a cool little thing to have. He's got his guns. Now these are the same guns that come with the Comic-Con version. However, the paint applications are not as good. It's a much lighter color plastic, no washwork on it, but I don't like the lighter gray on the plastic. I like the darker gray that they used on the Comic-Con version. So this looks, it wasn't like a whole lot of paint detail on the Comic-Con version, but with the darker gray it just looks a little more realistic. This lighter gray definitely looks like it's a plastic gun. And he comes with 2 of them, and he can hold them in both his hands, and he holds the guns nice and tight for the most part. He's got little trigger fingers, so you can stick the finger through the trigger on these, and again he holds both guns nice and tight. The figure itself, again, it's pretty much exactly the same figure as that Comic-Con version. There are some minor paint alterations. This one, the costume, the dark blue is a little bit lighter than on the Comic-Con version. The red the red striping may be a little bit darker. The gloves are pretty much exactly the same. The gold is definitely a little bit different shade. It's a lighter color of metallic gold on the Comic-Con version, and a little bit darker shade of gold on this box set version. The face plates, for the most part, look about the same. A little more black in the eye on the Comic-Con version, but for the most part I would say they're about the same. Maybe the oranges are a little bit different, but they're pretty much the same. So the biggest differences between the 2 figures, and I guess they did this so you could differentiate between the 2, is on the belt. So the box set version, they've given him a brown belt. Still got the silver metallic for the belt buckle and the little snaps on the pouches, but the belt and the pouches are brown. And then on the Comic-Con version, they're all black. And then for the boots, they've given him, for the top part of the boots, they've made it brown, and then the part that covers his feet are still black. And I think this is actually more comic book accurate. Looking at some pictures, I believe the boots do have some brown on them in the comics. Now the Comic-Con version, they just made the boots all black. And there's still not a whole lot of detail. There's no washwork or anything on them. They do have the belt buckles up at the top, and that was the same on both figures. Though it's a little cleaner on this box set version than on the Comic-Con set. And he's got the belt buckle down below here as well on the boots. So other than that, again, these figures are pretty much exactly the same. Kind of have that gummy joint there at the elbows, but that's the same on both figures. So, again, other than some difference in paint shading and the belts and the boots, these are pretty much exactly the same figures. This figure stands just a hair over 6.5 inches tall. So again, same height as the Comic-Con version. He is maybe just a hair taller than the movie version, basically because of his helmet. And overall, I'd say scale-wise, he fits in pretty well with the other figures in the box set. Now, in case you were wondering, if you have the Comic-Con version, you probably already and the movie version of Star-Lord, you've probably already tried this with the Comic-Con version. But if you wanted to have a Star-Lord without the helmet on, the movie version of Star-Lord comes with the maskless head, that's made to look like Chris Pratt. And that does fit on this figure, so if you don't mind your figure looking like Chris Pratt, then you can have you can basically use that alternate head on this figure as well. Okay, so articulation on this figure is the same as the Comic-Con version, but if you don't have that figure and not familiar with the articulation, we'll go over it real quick. The head is on a ball hinge joint, so he can look left and right. He's actually got pretty good down movement with the head, though you do have to kind of slide, the chin kind of rubs against that collar when you push his head all the way down. And then he can look up pretty good as well. He's got the ball hinge joints, so he can get his arm out about that much at the shoulder. and he's got good rotation there at the shoulder. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got double jointed elbows, so he's got good bending at the elbows. And he's got the swivel and the hinges at the wrist, so he's got good up and down movement there at the wrists. He's got the crunch joint, so he can crunch real well, and he can look back pretty good. He's got a he's got a waist swivel. He's got the ball joints at the legs. Now, because the shirt kind of comes down over his waist and everything, it does limit how much he can do the splits. He can get his leg forward good, can kind of do his leg out and back. Has the thigh swivel, double jointed knees. He's got actually does not have a boot cuff swivel, but he does have ankle pivot. And then 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I would say if you don't have the Comic Con version, then this is a nice figure to be getting. If you do have that Comic Con version, then this figure is definitely pretty much redundant, unfortunately. It would have been nice maybe if they had thrown in an alternate comic book maskless head or something along those lines, just to kind of give this figure added value to those who already have the Comic Con version. I'm sure costs came into play for not doing something like that, or even cooler would have been if they'd done one of his other uniforms, comic book uniforms like that one that's got all the yellow on it. That would have been pretty cool. But again, I'm sure that cost would have raised the cost of the set, and so that's probably why reissuing the same figure basically was a cost saving measure, I'm sure. So again, if you don't have this figure already from the Comic Con version, then this will be a nice addition to your collection. If you do, then unfortunately this one's just kind of a repeat redundant figure that you have to get in order to get the other figures in the set. And there are some pretty cool figures, the Gamora and the Drax, which we'll be looking at later this week, are definitely pretty cool. And even the Groot has some decent differences that differentiate it from the movie Build-A-Figure Groot. So again, we'll be looking at all those figures in the coming days. But for this one, like I said, sadly, if you already have the Comic Con version, then this one's kind of just going to be a repeater for you. So that's my review. We'll have a full gallery of images over at marvelousnews.com. There will be a link in the description below for that. And as always, we ask please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.